What's up, everyone? It's Kaelan Moss with Therion Thacker, the MinuteAdmin here, and we are doing another study session. So let's start the 45-minute timer. So we started off on where we were basically in Marketing Cloud, and we were doing, we're finishing up the last exercise from Cameron Robert. And the past few days, I would say ever since like Friday or Saturday, we've been having epiphanies from just the different stuff that we're starting to understand in Marketing Cloud. So we're just in Content Builder, and we're trying to fix this thing. Something's happening.
Okay, where did we leave off here? Okay, so we had an epiphany about the first section of task 4. And then as we tried to run everything, we realized we have a little bit of a breakup when we tried to adjust some code here. And I believe, I don't think we lost a content block, or maybe we lost the content block we needed instead of deleting the content block we didn't need.
Yeah.
that might certainly be the issue here.
I think this is what we did. We had like a, I think honestly, because look at where this set row set to look up ordered rows from AMP Cloud Learner Beams.
Yep.
Give me 3 records back.
I believe, are we missing the entire first half of this, or the separation we need? Okay, so what do we got here? I'm going up to task 3, which I believe is where we lost our info. So do we have the set at row latest equals lookup ordered rows anywhere? Do we see that? So we have a set at row set lookup rows, but we do not have set at row latest. Do we see that block anywhere?
So this one was from exercise 1 and 2.
Okay.
And then exercise 3, I'm trying to figure out how this got in here.
Yeah, how did this get here? I don't necessarily recognize this part.
I'm trying to think, did we?
Okay, so wait, hold on. So we got set at row, lookup rows. Okay, so we have step 1 and 2. Did we accidentally paste an old code block that we had created from a previous exercise? Because that's what it looks like. Okay,
Let's
so
see what.
Yeah, at last beam, EO3 beams, name ID field. I'm reading it right now.
Let's see what content we have. So
yeah, see, look. So that content block right there has the concatenating function in it, which was from the previous exercise. Remember when we used that?
What's this called? Okay, so this is code block 4.
Okay. And I believe that was from the last task. I'm going back to look now.
Had to have been.
Yeah, it definitely was.
It was?
Yeah. We used that concatenate function definitely in task 3. Hold on, so here, complete descending order. The concatenate function was in our feedback. There it is right there. Set at unfinished equals concat. I know I can't tell you the line number, but you need to go down probably a third of a page. Keep going. There's the concat function right there. So that's definitely from the last exercise. So I think we just lost a code block.
Okay. So then we added in, but this is all working together though. So it should still be in there. And yeah, we did lose a code block.
Yep.
Because we have %.
Yeah, but remember that was for the previous BRG that we needed. That isn't relative to the BRG that we're completing for task 4.
But doesn't it add on to it?
I don't believe it does, because we're not returning the same information, because we're not looking for the same information.
Oh, yeah. Wait, because we were doing a cloud
Yeah.
page.
Yeah. Remember? So,
Okay.
and so we went from there, and then we went to just returning the points. So remember, task 3, our expected results were just the 3 blocks, and it's just letting them know how many beams they've completed and if they have any beams left.
I think it's this one.
So let's look at it.
Set counter. Yep. Right here. Set counter equals
There it is.
0, row incomplete.
Okay, cloud inner beams.
And then this one set counter to 0.
Yeah, don't forget about these beams, right?
Yep. I think this is it. I think I just deleted this one out.
Okay. Yep. So there's don't forget about these beams, table cell padding. Okay, we have our end if. We're missing a little bit of HTML, I think. Yeah, we are. We're definitely missing a little bit of HTML before we start that lookup function in this right after the end if statement, unless it's over there on the side.
Wait, are you looking at this right here?
Mm-hmm. So don't forget about these beams, and then look at this section of HTML right before we get to that lookup function.
This?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Okay. And
Let's see if it works.
All right, let's run it. Okay, so where are we at? So invalid row, parameter 1 passed to field function. Row is null or empty. Function field row at row latest, comma 2 beams ID. We shouldn't be using row latest. Well, yeah, we should, but where field row at, so we're still on that number 2. It doesn't like the second copy function that we created for this set. So remember, we had the 1, and then we copied, and then we made the 2, and then we copied, and then we made the 3, and each one of them returned complete date, points, and then the last function was,
I think each one needs the set function in it.
okay.
So %, or it needs to have the variable set. Let's see. Set. So then we set row latest, right? You got to set it in that block, or does
the thing is we should have set that before these 3 blocks were created. So I don't know why 2 isn't. I don't know why block 2 isn't recognizing row latest, but 1 and 3 are. So the error that's telling us is that basically block number 2 is not recognizing that set function that we set up, but blocks 1 and 3 are.
Let's go to AMPscript IO.
Yeah, let's go. Let's throw it in there.
No problem. Oh, wait.
Hey, Nikhil. Is there any platform like Visual Studio which supports AMPscript? Actually, Nikhil, if you're looking, do you mean like a color coding breakdown? Because we found this. Okay, I'm going to look up Visual Studio real quick.
That's a great question.
That's a great question. Yeah, so code editing redefined. So Nikhil, to answer your question, it's not quite as detailed as Visual Studio, but I will tell you this, AMPscript.io is probably the closest thing we've found right now. And it definitely gives you warnings, missing brackets, and a lot of other just functions out of it to help you troubleshoot any code you dump in. Definitely not on the level of Visual Studio, though.
Hey, I haven't even used Visual Studio. Have you used it?
I've only supported it. I've never actually used it. So I supported the software, but never used it.
Is that a Microsoft thing?
Yes, it is a Microsoft thing. Yeah.
Hey,
sure.
you supported the whole ecosystem of Microsoft.
I've spent a lot of time in the Microsoft ecosystem. Yep. I remember when they started to switch us over from normal Active Directory, which would be like a normal Marketing Cloud admin instance, into Azure Active Directory, where it's a cloud-based Active Directory or admin instance to control things. And I'm telling you what, the level of control you could have over a company's cell phone, any kind of device that they own, in Azure Active Directory, it was amazing, man. Just absolutely amazing. I rolled out, I integrated Intune, and Intune was the company's protection for all of our mobile devices, iPads, phones, whatever they might have. And it honestly, I could shut somebody down with the click of a button, man. It was wild. Absolutely wild.
What's that? What's that Kanye West song? No one man should have all
that power, right? Yeah, it was wild, man. I'm not even kidding you. It was wild.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So coming over from there, and you never used Visual Studio? You just supported it?
I just supported it, made sure everybody had their licenses, made sure it was working, make sure the computers would support all the functions. So I handled a lot of hardware lifecycle management as well. Basically, when a piece of hardware expired or retired, it was up to me to set up that new laptop for them and make sure it was almost completely duplicated to their standards. So I relied heavily on OneDrive and just backups a lot to make sure. And then I had to reach out with them, and I had to have almost a BRG session with them where I would be like, okay, so how did you initially use these tools before? Let me know how I can get you logged back in, or would you like to log in yourself? It's that white glove service, man. It's that white glove service.
I think you were the one who told me what white glove service is.
That's absolutely right. Yep. White glove service is like you are in the fanciest restaurant in the world, but you're in IT, and like you're wearing these fancy little white gloves. And you don't want to get anything dirty. You don't want to upset. You don't want to upset anybody. You don't want to create any turmoil.
Such a hand-holding boutique.
Oh, you want to talk about hand-holding, man? Goodness gracious. The things that I have set up for bigwigs and directors and CEOs, CIOs is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
That's wild. We got to talk more about that.
Oh, for sure. In a way, it's fun because you're setting up their toys for them. They're just not your toys because you have to leave.
Was there like a moment you were waiting for? Was there like a eyes bug shot, like, oh my gosh, jaw dropped, I can't believe this is real type of thing that you were always looking for?
Oh man, it was just the coolest technology we got in-house always went to the bigwigs, right? It always went to the upper echelon of the company. But I got to set those things up for them. Like when we would test supercomputers for engineering, I got to set those up before I handed them off to, the engineering director, whoever was in control. And I'm telling you what, I have seen laptops that are just that thick that can run 3D CAD images like you've never seen. Where they honestly, you know what a laptop docking station is?
Yeah.
The docking station was so big, it actually had to be powered by its own power supply to even get that laptop to run. That's just one of my stories of the toys I got to play with, though.
Dude. Yeah. You think about computers like that and you don't even remember that they exist because they're just like the general public doesn't
even know them. Doesn't even know these exist, man.
It's like telling somebody about Salesforce for the first time and they're like, what's that?
Here's a great example. My gaming laptop, right? It has a 2070 NVIDIA graphics card in it. The thing is pretty thin. It's pretty thin, not gonna lie. But you get into these engineering computers, and they're laptop cases where you're mind blown by it. It sounds like a jet engine taking off when you fire it up. It's got so many cooling fans on it.
Oh
So
my
you be in a
God.
meeting with them, and it sounds like they have a fan on in the background, but it's just that laptop running.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was.
What are they doing in the meeting? They can't even pay attention.
I mean, just that thing keeping itself cool and running, 3D CAD designs and CAD designs, a lot of effort. A lot of effort.
That's wild.
Yep, crazy amount of effort for these engineers. My hat's off to all of them using that software because it's a pain in the butt to support. It is a pain in the butt to support.
Oh yeah. And when you say engineers, what do you mean by engineer?
So the engineers I supported actually designed drainage pipes and drainage systems. Perfect example is the Columbus ice skating arena for our ice hockey team. Advanced drainage systems set up all of the underlying support to keep that ice cold, all of the drainage systems to keep it good. So they are designing things not only for stadiums. I know they did an installation in Dallas, not only stadiums, but residential. And these guys were creating 3D designed pipes for specific applications, depending on what the BRG was. So once again, we get back to BRG and how that relates through every industry, right? Of course, you need to have a business requirements gathering session for the type of pipe that you're going to put in this new apartment building you're building, right?
Right.
So these engineers created that stuff from scratch, man. Absolutely amazing folks.
Dude. Genius.
Unique in their own way.
Yeah.
IT engineers and actual engineers that design pipe, two completely different monsters, though. I'm not even gonna lie.
What's the way in thinking that's different?
IT engineers, just like we have talked about so many times, and quote me if I'm wrong, but Bill Gates said, "I will always hire the guy that's what is it, lazy, over the guy who won't stop," right? Because the guy who's lazy has figured out the shortcut to get from point A to point B the easiest way. So I would consider IT engineers Swiss Army knives of the system. So when an issue comes across that they're facing more than once, they create an automated Band-Aid.
Yeah. I'm listening.
They don't have time for that kind of stuff, right? They do not have time for that kind of stuff. So they honestly, I have seen desktop engineers, infrastructure engineers, network engineers, telephony engineers create some of the craziest patches and fixes. Perfect example. We integrated something into the system. It's causing all kinds of trouble in the first 3,000 laptops we rolled it out to, right? Get a hold of the desktop engineering team. I had an amazing desktop engineer back then. And he literally put a patch into the system to automatically roll out to those 3,000 computers to fix it in the background before people even knew it was fixed. So they would call into the help desk, and the help desk would go, "Click it one more time for me," and it would just work. Boom. Magic, man.
So what title was this person?
So this is desktop engineering. Yep.
So these are the people that work harder than you wouldn't say.
So it's just a different type of engineering, right? We have a creative engineering and a responsive engineering.
Oh, gotcha.
You see what I mean? So desktop engineering, network engineering, telephony, most of my main crews from an infrastructure standpoint, responsive engineering, right? It's not that they're not preparing and creating, but most of the issues that happen on a day-to-day basis in a big company are coming to me, and if I can't solve them, they were going to them.
Right.
Yep. And then you have a pipe designer. That cat's just creating. He's using measurements and designs. Yep, for sure. So what did our code say as we dumped it in here after my long story?
Hey, it's all good, bro. I'm listening because it helps me to kind of understand the types of jobs out there. And I think that's one thing I always learn is like, I always want to learn how the whole ecosystem works.
Right.
And I don't want to be so stuck in just Marketing Cloud that I'm like,
Yeah.
I have no idea that there's other opportunities out there, you know?
And amazingly enough, I started in IT taking roughly 65 to 73 calls a day
Oh,
over the course of 10 hours. And I was supporting a retail chain at the time. And let me tell you what, it was so robotic, I could almost just pick out the answer as they were calling in because I knew the person because they had the same issue every day and they just didn't like to listen. So I was like, oh, hey, I'd almost answer them by name when I'd pick up the phone. And we're talking, I did that 65 to 73 times a shift. So, yeah. So there are trenches in IT, but you have, I would say everybody's goal is to continually climb that ladder to get out of those trenches because there are more trenches waiting for you that you need to experience before you really start to bloom. I came from a blue collar job into IT, so navigating the IT system was very hard for me. Very hard for me. Super difficult. Super difficult. A completely different world. Completely different world. And I thought to myself, is IT just resetting passwords and fixing point of sale systems? Like, what is IT really to me? And I came out of college with C++, computer sciences. I was like, where's this stuff that I just learned? I'm just resetting passwords all day, doing
right.
nothing. So you fight your way up this ladder because you want to get back to what you learned in school. And I was definitely a late adult returning to college after I lost my job in the blue collar industry. And yeah, navigating that system in my late 30s, it was tough. It was tough. Absolutely. Because what technology do you follow? What ecosystem do you get into? So of course I felt at home going into Microsoft. And that's where I started. So many years in Microsoft, dude. Oh my goodness. So many years in Microsoft. I honestly I know that all of my operating systems on my computers are Microsoft, but I never think to myself what I don't have to support this anymore because I don't want to support it.
Hey, you did it. You just come over to the Salesforce.
That's why I came over to the Salesforce side. I was like, software as a system? Yes, please. No actual installs on desktops and laptops.
They're still doing that with Microsoft?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we're
cloud.
doing it to a point where we have to keep an asset lifecycle management system in place. So when the assets can't support the new OSs, we have to rotate them out.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, that's impressive, man.
I saw a hilarious meme, and somebody had posted Microsoft. What did they say? They said Microsoft.
Are you on mute? I think Triple T's frozen. I think he's frozen, everyone. Okay. In the meantime, I am going to try to find this little code block right here. And till Triple T gets back, let's see what this is. So set row latest. Set row latest equals to lookup ordered rows. And then we're going to look up. Okay, so that's the thing we missed right there. So I'm going to come over here and go to set row latest. So this is going to look like this. I'm going to drag this HTML block right here. Nope. Add block. Click to add blocks or content. Block. HTML. Paste. And then gonna be setting %%, comma, or bracket set at row latest equals lookup ordered rows. And then that's going to close out there like this, %%. And then we're going to go find the other data extension. But for now, let's see. While it's loading, we're going to go comma or parentheses, comma, parentheses. We're going to grab 3 rows back. We're going to parentheses, complete date, comma, complete date descending, comma, cloud learner ID, comma, ID. Okay. So we're going to grab this data extension and we're going to go to subscribers, data extensions, AMPscript. Well, which one was it? We need to grab the Cloud Learner Beams. So Cloud Learner Beams, records, we're grabbing, okay, we're looking up ordered rows. We're saying look up ordered rows, go and find Cloud Learner Beams, bring me back 3 results, and where completed date, and bring me back completed date in descending order, where Cloud Learner ID equals ID. So if we go to lookup ordered rows, let's see where Therion is. Power outage. Power outage on the side of Therion's world out in Maine. Hey, let me text him real quick. But we're just going to go and try to finish this exercise. So lookup ordered rows is the name of the data extension that you want to return the value from, number of rows to return, whether or not it's in ascending or descending order, and then where you want to use the where clause, where such and such equals a specific value. Got it. Got it. Okay. Then we have all that. That looks good. Then we're looking up the AMP EO3 beams. Oh, wait. I need to copy this data extension name, bring it back over to this, copy the lookup, copy the lookup field, lookup AMP EO3 beams, where we're finding the name. Let's look at lookup. Let's look at lookup. We're going to go to, I'm going to keep that open. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go to, where's lookup? Right here. Lookup. Name of the data extension you want to use to return the value. So the data extension we're going to be pulling from. the column we want to pull from inside of that data extension, and then the column that has that's the primary key. This is what really got me. I'm so happy that I understand what this means. The name of the column that's used to identify the row containing the lookup value. That is going to be the required. Good to have you back, Triple T.
Hey, what do you know? Living in Maine, you have power outages. It's probably a squirrel having a good time out there somewhere. And,
Chewing it up.
Just give me a little gnaw. Just a little gnaw on a
He's
Wednesday
going back to
morning.
his tree. He doesn't care about your power.
He's like, listen, you got to quit this streaming stuff in the morning.
Right. He's like, I'm trying to chew on your wires. Quit electrocuting me.
All right, where are we at? We looking up Lookup?
We're looking up Lookup.
We're looking up Lookup. I love it.
Then we have there's this column right here in the 3-column layout. Didn't have it right.
Okay.
I did something whenever I pulled it in there and then I deleted it. Remember?
I got you. Yeah. Yep. So what was it missing?
Well, it's missing this right now. So looking up AMP EO3 beams. The column I want to return the value from is the name column. The column that has the primary key is the ID field. And then the value that I want to compare that against is in the row latest, which is this lookup ordered rows function. And I am saying row latest 1 right here. 1. So that's 1. And then 2 is going to be for name. Okay, so it's grabbing name. It's grabbing row latest for 2. Row latest for 2. Points ID. Okay, I think this is good. So we can delete.
Good now.
We can delete this.
Okay.
We can delete the 3 as well.
All right.
We change all these to 1. And then we have, let's just see if this works. Setting row latest. Then we have that. Then we have that. Yeah. Done. Next. Let's see.
See what we get. Hey! Is this what we
Nice.
want? You've earned 6 beams. Okay.
I think
we got to get rid of our comment block. We've got our braces the wrong way.
Oh yeah, we do. That's funny. Border width. We just need to change the border width.
Yeah.
Done editing, and then I put this in the wrong spot. It goes that, and then the star. So the star is on the inside for both ones. Let's see. Is it? Let's see.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Good.
Man. Coming out strong out here in Texas, dude. Man. When I was living in California, even when I visited California recently in January,
yeah,
no allergies. No allergies. Now my eyes are red. You
got to get out of Texas, man. It's time.
It's time for me to bounce.
Back to San Diego. Let's go.
Back to San Diego.
Yep, for sure.
I'm trying to be a globetrotter. I'm trying to go to the Philippines, bro. Philippines, Bali, Europe.
It'll be easier from there, that's for sure.
Dude. Right by the Mediterranean Sea. Boy, we're gonna be eating that. What is the meal you think of when you think about eating by the Mediterranean Sea? If you were visiting a country in the Mediterranean,
ceviche.
Some ceviche with some shrimp in there.
Any seafood just soaked in citrus.
Ooh!
Some veggies.
Man.
For sure. Never even had this stuff, but that's what I think of. That's probably 9 years of watching Anthony Bourdain.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. AMPscript. Hold on. I got into a mind of a question I had as soon as you were saying Anthony Bourdain. AMPscript, what's the thing we're trying to get? AMPscript notes. Note. What is it? When you're taking a note in AMPscript.
Oh, the comment area, comment block.
Star, or goes forward slash star,
and then close it off with star backslash or forward slash.
Okay. That's how we have it. It doesn't catch it.
I love it when it spits it out. All of your notes to try to remember what you need.
Right. Hey, just show everybody what you said.
Especially when you're right in front of like stakeholders or something, you know, all of a sudden your notes are just completely break your process.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully you have a saved version and you
right.
check
right.
before. Okay, I'm gonna delete that. I think we got it, man. We finished all the exercises.
Hey, Vikas, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Vikas? What's going on? So I think we got it, man. Did we get the final? Let's scroll through the people. Yeah, look. Don't forget about these beams.
I can't see your screen. I can't see. Yep. I can't even agree with you yet.
Dude, I thought I was sharing this, and I was like, check it out. You should be happy. Hey,
we're good, Vikas. We're good.
Doing well. Thank you.
All right, let's rotate through our peeps here.
So we have
Charlie, Echo. Okay, don't forget about these beams. We got our points. Everything looks good. Loyalty in the cloud. Okay.
Build your cloud business.
So we fulfilled our BRG there.
Hey man, I'm happy with this.
I am too.
We got the class name.
I think this is the first assignment where we really started to push more HTML into the assignment.
Yeah, for sure. Earn up to 6,000 points. We got that. Earn up to, we did the lookup function. We got the what is it? Complete date or start date?
Yep, start date. The available points to earn.
Earn up. We looked up. So this is what's really cool is like now we can come back and we can look at what's the engine powering this and we can break down the engine.
Yeah.
So like, hi Echo, you've completed 3 beams and earned 14,800 points. Okay, here's the 3 beams that Echo completed. Learn to think like the cloud. 12/9/2021, 12 a.m., 4,400 out of 5,500. Don't forget about these beams. Accelerate your cloud learning. Earn up to. Don't forget about these beams. Beam number 1, accelerate your cloud learning.
Right.
With that, you can earn up to 6,000 points. And I don't know if this is the start date or the end or the completed date. But just think about, okay, now we can actually go through and break down because we built this.
Yeah, we built it line by line.
So first one was, hi Echo, you've completed 3 beams and earned 14,800 points. That's up here. So we have right here, hi, percent first name. You've completed X amount of beams and you've earned X amount of points.
Yep. So chunk 1 done.
But we had this code block that did all the formulating for us.
All of it.
So it said, okay, So it's like this army sergeant or something. It's like, all right, fellas, set row, and then row gets a value. Look up rows.
So we could almost look at it as team row does this.
Yes.
Team beam does this. Team points does this.
So let's see what the first thing is. What is row's job? Row's job is to go to the AMP EO3 Cloud Learner beams.
Yep.
Go and grab where Cloud Learner ID is equal to ID.
We're
now,
just comparing the two
why,
to make sure they're the same people.
So you know why we can say just ID? Because it's like the question becomes what ID? Because that could be anywhere, right? We could have 10 data extensions with the column ID in it.
Yep.
But you know why we can just say ID here? We don't have to reference it or look it up in a field anywhere.
Hit me.
Because look, what we're testing this is a level deeper. Go deep with me here.
Yep.
We're about to test this content builder block. What we're about to test this email on, the data extension we're about to test this email on is the data extension that holds this column called ID. So we're actually basically right now the code that we're writing is technically a conversation we're having with the data extension we're previewing with.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying, hey, we're saying on the next step, we're going to go to preview and test.
Right.
And the next step, there's going to be a data extension to preview with that I'm going to talk with. And the code is saying, I'm talking to you. And the preview and test and the data extension is saying, I'm listening, I'm talking back.
For sure.
So row
relationship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Row is saying, okay, hey, data extension, I'm going and I'm looking up this row from this data extension called Cloud Learner Beams, where Cloud Learner ID equals your ID.
Yep.
So if you look over to if we go to next and we look at the data extension we're going against, we're going into this data extension right here, which is we're going into the Cloud Learners data extension because it's our only sendable data extension.
Right.
The AMPscript is talking to this data right here.
Yep.
And it's saying, hey,
where's that ID at?
It's saying, hey, I've been tasked with going and finding from the AMPscript Cloud Learner Beams data extension,
right,
where Cloud Learner ID equals your ID right here. And then saying, oh, okay, we have somebody who matches that criteria. Here's the person right here. The person's name is Alpha.
Boom.
So then it goes and it brings that person Alpha up, and it goes and it'll find them in another data extension too. But basically it's saying, okay, cool. You found the people who match them from that Cloud Learner Beams data extension.
Yep.
Now what? And then saying, now we're saying, okay, we're going to set beams to 0. We're going to set points to 0.
Right.
And then we're just going to set that for right now, just to have it set. It won't do anything unless we tell it to do something.
Exactly. If we don't reference it, it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're just setting the variable just to get it ready to roll, just to get it going, just in case we want to add some sort of value to it later on. And it's saying, but throw in this loop here. And saying, for the structure for a loop, it always has to be something in between for and do.
Yep.
So for I equals 1 to row count. So so this is just a function, the number of rows that is inside of this.
Yep.
Do something here. So for all the rows, basically, is what it's saying.
Yep.
Do this. If this field row, which is if you come over here to this tab, where are we pulling from? We're pulling from the Cloud Learner Beams. So if this field, I'm just making another tab. If this field is if this field called points is blank, then set beams to be beams plus 1, 0 plus 1. And
Yep.
then also set points to be add the points.
Yep.
And then, so it's going to add all the points up and it's going to say end the if statement now. And then go to the next I.
And what's the next I? One
The
to
next-
row count.
The next I is the next row. Exactly.
And,
And
we're
then-
pumping a loop out.
And we're just pumping a loop
We've
out.
created the circle. Yeah, we've created the circle that's functioning just in a rotation over and over again. No matter how much info we dump in, we can run a new report every day and see what's going to spit out. You know what I mean?
And it's consistent. That's what I love about it.
Yes.
It'll
It
always
never stops.
Result.
It's never going to do anything on its own. We have to tell it exactly what to do. And if it's not doing what we need it to do, we didn't tell it what to do right.
Right, exactly. It's on you. It's on the creator.
It's definitely on us. Like, why are you bringing back this information? Oh, that's my fault for sure.
Right, exactly. I love this. Then we have a basic personalization string. Then we have a basic lookup. Lookup beams for me. Lookup beams. If it's 0, it's 0. But if it matches the criteria for this, it'll give me what it's supposed to be.
Go ahead and run this loop for me.
And then beams, and you've completed such and such beams, and you've earned such and such points. Same thing with points. We set it. We set that. And we were setting row up to go inside of beams and points.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And then we just press next. And honestly, I think I'm just going to study that specific line of code for a little bit because that's so intriguing to me. Just that for loop.
Yeah, and just think to yourself, that's a baby for loop.
That's a baby loop.
The nested things we can put in there to create more and more variables for the specifics we want returned. It gets deep. It gets super deep. Yeah.
Well, great work. We finished the exercises. We finished all the exercises from Cameron Robert. I do want to go back through them, though.
I do have to say he has been loading up some new exercises with the 23 spring release, so we might have to go check those out.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. We might set that for the next show then.
Yes. Well, great work. That's all we got for today. Everybody enjoy your day. It's a beautiful Wednesday.
Yep.
That's all we got for you today. Kaelan Moss, Therion Thacker, MinuteAdmin out.
MinuteAdmin out. Bye.